welcome back to Residente and welcome back to the channel, man. So man, hey, y'all see by the title of this video, we got a special guest in the building. I recently tweeted out on my community tab. I will put the post somewhere on the screen. I was like, boom, I needed like a subscriber to like come back on the channel and stuff like that to help me react to this video and to help me find out a bunch of stuff that I missed like whenever I was first reacting to the video. So with that being said, hey, I got a subscriber on the call right now. His name is Alejandro. Say what's up.
Hey man, what's up, bro?
What's good, man? So hey, he is on the Discord call right now. We are actually gonna watch this video live and everything like that, and he actually watched like the interview and all type of stuff, and he knows a bunch of info about this video that I may have missed and stuff like that because it has been coming on my video. And he reached out to me on my IG DM, and he was able to help me react to this video and help me go through a bunch of stuff that I missed the first time going around.
Yeah, I'm just trying to give a little bit of a perspective, and so y'all have a little bit of better understanding of the video. Of course, it's a very visual video and has a lot going on, so I just want you guys to have a little bit better understanding and perspective on it.
Right.
Hope I can help.
Yeah, and I appreciate him coming out because if you guys don't know, man, you know, even though the video did, you know, a good number of views and it has a good number of likes, there's some dislikes in it and stuff like that, and it's just the people that just, they was coming at my head, bro, because I was saying some stuff and I wasn't really getting the meaning of the video. So hey, that's why I got my buddy Alejandro. He was able to reach out to me and he's gonna help me react to this video, man. So I'm super eager to go ahead and get straight into this thing. So we are finna go and get straight into this thing. I'm over here stuttering. But if you guys are new to the channel, man, hey, consider hitting that subscribe button down below as well. On the way to 20,000 subscribers. Other than that though, hey Alejandro, you ready?
Yeah, man, let's go.
Alright, bet. We finna go and get straight into it. Let's go. Oh, hold up. I gotta turn on my... You're not gonna be able to see this opacity. Turn down, Alejandro, but they gonna have to because it blocks the reaction, you know? So...
I understand.
Yeah. Alright, we good. Wait. One thing. Why is this, is there anything about, like, this color over here?
No, nothing that really, you know, comes up. It's just obviously we can see the you know, the United States behind, and it's setting up the mood for the song. It's saying, you know, this is not America, and it's just you know, the first reaction that I get is just saying that, you know, we see the traditional resemblance of the map of what we here call America, the United States,
right?
And it's just saying this is not America. And the song further goes into explaining what is this thing that, you know, Residente is trying to refer to, because it's a misconception that nowadays is commonly used.
Right. Okay. All right. Bet. Yeah, I was just wondering. Okay.
And it goes a little bit back to what I told you earlier, when I saw your first reaction that you were commenting about, okay, this is a song about us not being, you know, the America that we want to be, the United States not being what we want to represent in the world. That was your initial comments, and that's what probably every person that is not familiar with what he's going to say probably is what they think initially,
right.
But it's not really about that. This song is not about saying that the United States is not behaving the way that we wanted to, or that we're not representing USA values as we think that we should be. It's not about that. It'll go further into it and explain.
Okay. I'm eager. Hey, that's why he's here, people. That's why he's here, right there. I need that right there.
This right here, we can pause.
Right.
This is here representing Lolita Lebron. She was a political figure back in Puerto Rico, and if you go back in history, and I'm not going to here to say that I know every detail, but she actually with two other gentlemen went into the U.S. Congress and shot inside U.S. Congress protesting about the political relationship between the United States and Puerto Rico. And he's starting, and this is history, you can Google it, you can look it up, and so he's already in the first seconds of the video already giving you visuals of historic, things that
Happened, yeah, for
happen, yes, for real. So we
okay,
can go. We
okay,
can go
all
on.
right, all right. Now the cops,
Yep.
come up and stop them. Okay.
Yep. This is
Now this
this
is
is him.
riot shields.
Protest. A lot of visuals going on.
Estamos aquí.
She got
Oye,
stopped.
que
Yep.
estamos
You can
aquí.
pause there, man.
Okay.
You can already initially see a lot of visuals going on of things that he's going to present in the video. He's already putting some rhythm into it. You can already observe, protests going on, police confrontations with the civilians, a lot of resistance, a lot of smoke going on. So he's already preparing yourself, and the music he hasn't barely started. He's saying right now, estamos aquí, like we are here. We are
Oh,
here at the
okay.
sound of at the same times of the rhythms.
Right. Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
it's a quick setup, and he hasn't said anything.
okay.
Let's
Okay.
go.
All right.
Aquí. Mírame, estamos aquí. Desde hace rato, cuando ustedes llegaron, ya estaban las huellas de nuestros zapatos. Se robaron hasta la
You
comida
can
de
pause it
gato
right
y
there,
toda.
man.
All right. Now this is what is this saying? Like all guns aimed at him? Is it basically saying like he's a target? That's what I got from this too. So
Well,
like,
not really. If you go even back a couple of seconds, you can see the indigenous persons, and if you can play it on your end, he's already saying that this the whole purpose of this song, and maybe if we can talk about it from the beginning, is just explaining that the America that in the United States they teach, America's for here in the United States is just the United States. America involves a whole continent, and that's why he begins, estamos aquí. There are cultures of America that go back hundreds of years, and this why you can see this little child, an indigenous child, here, because these
right.
are it goes back a lot of cultures back, indigenous communities that go back hundreds of years before what we have nowadays in our modern history. So this is why he's talking about estamos aquí, America, these roots of America have been here for thousands of years, and they have been disregarded in what's the modern US. So
Right.
it goes deep into that, and these are these figures that you're going to keep on seeing during the whole video. And this right now, with what you're asking me, with the guns being toward him, I think it's just in a reference, and the word in the way that other countries of America have been targeted, and all of the disputes internal they have, and all of the internal wars that there are, and the violence that there is. We can just go on that, and it's just setting up the tune in the first couple of even the first minute of the song, just setting that tone of what song is really all about, and all the visuals that come into it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Makes sense. Makes sense. All right.
De gato y todavía se están lamiendo el plato bien
Now,
encabronado.
what? Okay, we haven't paused it too much, man. I'm very sorry, but one thing. So
Yeah.
they changed the statue to this is what
Course.
this is they like this. This used to be, well, obviously in real life this is Lady Liberty. They changed it to, I don't.
An indigenous figure. Remember, indigenous communities go back so many hundreds of years, and there are so many types of indigenous communities. I mean, the Incas, Mayas, I
Right.
mean, Aztecas. There's different type of. We cannot visualize indigenous communities as just the Indians, the normal, the regular ones that we are taught in schools here in the United States. I mean, within indigenous communities, there are various indigenous communities, and from different parts of America, and it's just a reference. I could not say specifically
Okay.
what
Okay.
which type of indigenous community it is trying to reference, but I don't think that is trying to reference one in particular.
Okay.
Just referencing
Like as
indigenous
a whole.
communities. Yes, as of
Right.
course, as a whole,
Okay.
and there in Lady Liberty, such a figure in the world, of peace and of of course of liberty and of human rights. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I believe that this putting it here is a figure, about how really these communities, although they do not exist anymore and have been wiped out
Mm-hmm.
from our existence nowadays, are really a huge factor and part of our history,
Mm-hmm.
and should be recognized, and they don't give it the recognition that they think they should. I believe that that's why he's what he's trying to
Right.
show there,
Right. Right. Right.
and showing respect to those communities that
Right. Right.
existed here in
Yeah.
our world, man.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Okay. Appreciate you. Appreciate you.
Lamiendo el plato, bien encabronado con estos ingratos. Hoy le doy duro a los tambores hasta que me acusen de maltrato. Si no
That's
entiendes el
powerful there,
dato, pues
man.
te
This right here, dancing like with the
Yes,
fighting
man.
going
Look
on.
at, yeah, man. He's in an environment of a protest, a very violent protest, confrontations with the police, and he's using, two people here dancing what appears to be tango, I believe,
Mm-hmm.
within all of that chaos. And if you see, he's using the movements of the dancers in a manner that it resembles the same movements that the police are using against the people that they are, hitting and being violent towards. It's just a mix of imagery and movements and art that he's
entiendes
trying to
el dato, pues
represent
te
in
lo
his
tiro en
video.
Yeah.
Look at
Okay.
the way how they move.
Oh,
Boom. See?
John, bro? That's why we got him in here, boy. What the? See, I ain't catch that, bro. Like, there's
Is
so
the
much stuff I didn't really catch, like
is
because
the little details. I mean,
right.
he's trying to be very very visual with his video, and trying to incorporate to what he's saying, and try to use as much as possible to to create basically a 4 minute movie. and
Right,
and in
right.
other videos you're going to see it. I saw that when you did your review about the song Guerra. Again,
The
very
war,
visual.
right.
Latino America, very visual. It's
Mm-hmm.
part of his heart and part of what he wants to represent.
Right, right. Dang, man. Thank you, man. Whew, I didn't catch that. All right, we're on.
cumbia, bossa nova, tango o vallenato. A lo
Oh, bro. Whoa. Yeah.
You
Nah.
saw that?
Yes. Hug. Grab her from behind. I mean, this
Yep.
girl jumped on him from behind, and then the dancing couple did it.
Yep.
That's insane. Okay,
You got
now
it?
I see.
Yeah, and,
I
and
see.
even when he does the move and give it, if you play it,
A lo calaboa, tango o vallenato.
It
A lo
goes that way.
calaboa y bambú, bien frontal.
and now like
con
that,
sangre
and
caliente.
again like that.
No,
that?
yeah, whoa, yo, shout out Alejandro, thank you, man. Oh, I didn't catch that the first. It's so much stuff. See, now I'm noticing is that like now that I like after this video, right? Because obviously somebody has to put you in line somewhere, right? Is that whenever you start reacting to somebody, is that you're gonna have to after a while you're gonna have to start digging deeper, and this is what this video showed. This is what the comments in the last video showed, is that, bro, I missed out on so much. Now I see why people were coming at me the way they were, but yeah, this is insane. Like, I didn't catch that.
It's not the same, and I'm going to be honest. The first time that I saw this, because I knew that Residente was gonna drop a song. He had announced it, so I watched I listened to the song before I watched the video. I was actually I was just heading out of my office to heading home, and I listened to the song as soon as possible in my car on my way home. And it's a whole different experience to watch the video
Multiple
for a very
times.
first time than to just listen to the song, which is what I did.
Right.
And once I got home, I saw the video, and it's like, oh wow, this is this is very interesting, and he mixed up the lyrics and the music video, perfectly.
Right. Yeah. This is. I didn't catch this first time. This is mind blowing. Like this is like a. Even though I reacted to it the first time, this is like my real first time like seeing it, because I'm seeing stuff that really opened my eyes this time. Right. This time
And
around.
listen to what he says here about. He talks about now Tupac, and how Tupac got his name, and Tupac got his name from Tupac Timbuktu. He gets his name from some figure from Peru. So you nowadays we know Tupac because the song, the singer, everybody
Right, the
knows who
rapper.
he is, but
Right.
from where does he get his name? He takes his name from an indigenous figure. So again,
For
it's
real.
talking about how these cultures and traditions the United States have given a little bit of a cold shoulders. Nonetheless, it is intertwined with things, and what he's explaining to you, he's just trying to like a teacher explain, like Tupac, but where does his name come from? You don't know that, and he's explaining to you it comes from this, and these are issues or cultures that have been set aside and not taught. And it's saying how the United States culture is so intertwined with all of this in the past, but nonetheless they don't want to recognize it, and they don't want to teach it. So that's what he's trying to to explain in part in the song.
Okay. All right. Got you. All right.
Como Timbuktu, estamos dentro del menú. Tupac se llama Tupac por Tupac Amaru del Perú. América no es solo USA, papá. Esto es desde Tierra del Fuego hasta Canadá. Hay que ser bien bruto, bien hueco. Es como decir.
The whole concept is just trying to explain, give you simple examples, like that name of Tupac, with the whole concept of the song, because obviously he's trying to explain it in a way that we can all understand.
Right.
Us, from Puerto Rico, and the way that I have been taught history, and my father is a professor of history, we kind of understand it easier. So he's just giving you a little bit of an example so y'all can understand, and that's good, because we can transmit the message on, and you can explain it on, and that's what the whole purpose of the song, bro.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Got you.
Que África es solo
I
Marruecos.
got this.
Estos
Breastfeeding
canallas
through
se
the
les
milk.
olvidó
Is
que el
what they're separated, right?
Yeah, man. The borders, the separation, the immigrants. I myself, I'm an immigration attorney.
Okay.
So I work a lot with immigrants from South America. So this for me, and I live in a border town here in what's called McAllen, Texas, which is just 20 minutes from Mexico. So this is something that I know, in fact, that happens, the separation of families, just because there are laws that prohibit, families to come
and
into
it's
the
sad.
United States. Yeah, it is sad, and it's something that has been going on for many, many years, and sadly, it does separate families.
All right.
And it's a common problem. It's a common problem in America. It's a common problem in the whole America, in South America, in Central America. It is a problem, and it becomes a problem here also in the United States. But if you see this issue with immigration, it goes far beyond the U.S. borders. It's a common problem that the whole continent shares. And I mean, there's a lot of this also that I can visualize in this part of the video.
Okay. All right.
Que usan, se lo inventaron los mayas con la Valdivia precolombina desde hace tiempo. Este continente camina, pero ni con toda la marina pueden sacar de la vitrina la peste.
It's a lot going on, man.
I know. I'm seeing. I'm trying to go like a little bit like so that way this video don't be like an hour long or whatever. But I'm trying to like
I'm sorry, man, but
No,
there's
you're
so I
good.
mean,
Yeah, you're good. You're good. You're
there's
good.
he throws there's another example saying like imagine that Africa is would be only Marruecos. Again, saying America is only the United States is like saying that Africa is only Marruecos.
Right, and it's actually more to it than that.
Yes, it's
Right.
just again throwing to you examples, and it's incredible how he uses music and his lyrics to give you example of what he's saying, comparing one thing to another. Okay,
Got you. Yeah, man.
it talks about here how we adopt the Mayan calendar again, using things of cultures that the United States nowadays typically doesn't give credit to or recognizes. Okay?
They try to say that they're the original, and they don't actually bring up that the history behind this is why we use it. They just kind of tried to adopt it right now, right?
Yes, of course, and again, and not only adopting other cultures, taking the name America for itself. Again, as I told you earlier, if I in my iPhone, if I send a text message and I type America, automatically the U.S. Flag comes out, and and that's funny because again, America is a whole continent.
Right.
South America.
Because yes,
Central
South America, they program it to pull up the
Yes.
U.S. flag
And-
instead of actually pulling up like Brazil and
Yes. And,
Right.
and even if when they ask you if you go abroad in a trip and they ask you, what's your nationality, people say I'm American. Well, American, I don't know. That's American from where?
Right. Right.
From Latin America.
Right.
I mean, so I don't know.
Right.
There needs to come up a better word than that then.
Yeah, you're right.
Because not even North American. I mean, North America includes also Canada. So again, where are you from?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Gotcha.
We were just taught this way, bro.
Yeah. It's fine, man. You're
It's
educating
part
me
of.
out here.
I mean, but it does have to come up. It has something. It has to come up. It has to be talked about, and we also have to recognize that just by adopting the word, we are giving some other countries a little bit of a cold shoulder, man.
Gotcha. All right.
Campesina, esto va para el capataz de la empresa. El machete no es solo para cortar caña, también es para
Now
cortar
this
cabeza.
was that machete line. Now, what
Yeah.
was the biggest thing I missed here? People were,
Well, machetes are traditionally used as a symbol of protest, as a symbol of ways of confronting, especially people who doesn't have economic means to have weapons of high caliber. Back in the days, a machete was a symbol of that, of protest. This is the way that we defend ourselves because we cannot afford weapons. So machetes, traditionally they were used, to work in the fields, and also it was an enslavery tool because that was what enslavers used to give the slaves to cut ¿cómo se dice caña? Sugar canes.
Oh, okay,
So
right.
also what was used as a symbol of oppression at the same time is seen as a symbol of revolution.
Right.
So a machete is not only for cutting cutting canes, but it's also a way of I can protest and hit back at you and defend myself.
Right.
So that I believe that would be like the reference towards that.
Okay. All right. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.
Aquí estamos, siempre estamos.
Aquí estamos.
No nos
Here we are.
fuimos, no nos vamos. Aquí estamos pa' que te
Not going anywhere.
recuerdes. Si quieres mi machete te muerde. Aquí estamos, siempre estamos.
And now this is
Yes, man.
right.
Yes.
Right. This really got me because I mean, this music video really is like he's really showing this stuff like transparent, ain't no sugarcoating nothing. right?
No, man, it's very, 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 very visual. All of these represents all of the police brutality, violence, corruption that it's very common, unfortunately, in Central America, in South America, in Mexico. Sadly, there's a lot of corruption in the governments. The drugs, the narcos, they really basically control government, and they kill, indiscriminately. And
Yeah,
the
they
control
do.
that these, yes,
Yeah.
the control that these cartels have, they enforce it through the same government and through the same police. The gangs, it's just a lot of going on and a lot of factors. And unfortunately, if you see right now the image that you have paused right there, these are young people, man.
Right.
These
Well,
are not,
did he
these
try
are
to?
students. These
Yeah.
are the students. Look at in the background, that's like a sort of like a
Uh,
university
right.
building.
Okay. Is he
And
trying to say like these are individuals who got shot, or is he just saying like this is just people
no,
in?
these are, and if I am not mistaken, and again, I don't know every detail, but there was, I believe, in Mexico, a bus of students. They did. I don't remember the reason it was, but they killed a whole bunch of students, and that even they were buried in a common place that they were all buried. And they did shoot students, and not only in that incident, and if you want you can Google it. Incidents about government and narcos and going at students is very common,
Oh, well,
because
definitely.
obviously, students are educating themselves, and they sometimes, when you're educating yourself and you're going to universities, you're broadening your mind,
Right.
and you can become
A
against
target.
against, yeah, against, because you develop your own opinions, and sometimes, the government or the drug cartels don't like that, and they end up being victims of violence such as this. But
Just like
now yeah.
wait, just like how they really don't like people telling on them. Like if somebody if they was to catch somebody that was trying to you know tell on them and stuff like that, man, they're going after their whole family, which is
Yes.
really sad.
And the situation with students, and I had not pointed out, is just you posted, and now that I'm seeing the frame and I look at these people, they're all young. I mean, again, it is, I think he's directly making a reference towards the violence against students and young people who want to educate themselves in Central and South America. And I believe that it's picking up on this.
Got you. Okay. All right.
Aquí estamos, siempre estamos, no nos fuimos, no nos vamos. Aquí estamos pa'
That
que
drum
te
beat.
recueste. Si quieres mi machete te muerde. Si quieres mi
And see, they were smiling with their foot on them too.
Just, yeah, of course. Because for them it's like nothing. I mean, for them, this is normal life. This is what we have to understand. uh, uh, Here in the United States, we live in a bubble.
Right.
Situations in America is not just here. In Central America, and it's a very tough situation, because the police and the military are used directly, to assault and their own constituents, and their own people that live in the country. So as you said, look how they're smiling, because this is normal, man.
Right.
This for them is very, very normal. Something like
Gotcha.
this happens here in the United States, and the news, everybody's
Everybody,
gonna
the
be all
media's
over it.
covering it, but over
Yes, of
there,
course.
it's happened
Back
so.
then, back there, it's just normal business. Maybe they don't pose like that, but he's just using the frame
Right.
and,
He
and the
was. Yeah.
video, yeah, to be very, ¿cómo se dice? Uh, put it really, really out there. But again, showing the normalcy of everything.
Gotcha. Okay.
Muerte. Si quieres mi machete te muerte. Si quieres mi machete te muerte. Si quieres mi machete te muerte. Te muerte. Te muerte.
Los paramilitares, las guerrillas, los hijos del conflicto, las pandillas, las listas negras, los falsos.
He's talking
Wait,
about
those were them.
yeah, look at how
That's
he's
McDonald's. That's McDonald's Happy
talking. Yes,
Meals.
sir. Yeah,
I
this
didn't.
is
I didn't catch that.
yes, this go back to what I explained, about also the images of U.S. companies that profit out of Central America, South America, for labor and things like that, and economic profits and selling, their junk food. It does reference McDonald's. You can see reference towards, I believe, Starbucks. Later on, I believe
Right.
also Amazon.
They said that
So
too.
yes.
But
See,
and
so
he got
you
a
see
burger
that.
in his hand.
Yeah,
That's
I hadn't
insane.
seen that. He does have a
Uh-huh.
burger in
I,
his hand eating it. And look at now his bars are specifically talking about different factors or issues that are wrong in these countries. Look at he's talking about the paramilitaries, the guerrillas, the children of conflict, the gangs, the narco states.
Right.
He's pointing each one and telling you each one of these things is a problem or an issue that's going on
Right.
in America.
Right.
Okay?
Another thing too, before we go on, you see how he didn't put logos on them, right? And you know why, right?
No, obviously because of
He would get sued the mess.
yes,
The mess
yes,
out of
yes,
him.
yes,
But
yes.
yeah.
Obviously,
Right.
of trademarks and things, he cannot put anything. He's a
Right.
smart dude.
Very smart.
He has a big production company
Right.
that I'm pretty sure that they know what they're doing and they don't want to get sued for the song.
Right, right. Alright.
Conflicto, las pandillas, las listas negras, los falsos positivos, los periodistas asesinados, los desaparecidos, los narcogobiernos.
Coca-Cola.
Coke.
There it is
Yep,
right there.
there you go.
Okay.
And again, look at what the factors he's talking about. Look there,
Oh,
government.
narco and the drugs.
Yeah, I mean,
What?
you have to understand that having drug dealers is very different with having a narco government. A narco government is basically a government that is so intertwined with the drug dealers and narcos and the gangs, and that is, I mean, it's like it's like they're working even together. I mean, so I don't know if you have had the opportunity to watch, series in Netflix called Narcos.
Yeah, I watched it before.
Yeah, man, it shows you a very harsh reality that narcos and government, they're just intertwined with each other. That's why, although you know that this person is the biggest drug dealer in the world, he lives like he lives like he's a normal businessman. They're not gonna knock him out because they're just intertwined with each other. And when you have a government like that, it's very difficult, man,
It's
to
corrupt.
change it.
Mhm.
Yeah, of course.
Because trying to take out each and every one, they're gonna be like, okay, hey, this guy's trying to stop us. So what they're gonna do? They're gonna knock him out, right?
Of course.
It's sad. All right.
Yeah.
Todos los que robaron, los que se manifiestan y los que se olvidaron, las persecuciones, los golpes de estado, el país en quiebra, los exiliados, el peso devaluado, el tráfico de
That's a very strong scene right there.
This one right here?
Yes,
I see
man,
you got the Brazil flag.
He's talking. He's making obviously direct reference to the president of Brazil. I really, I'm not going to get too much into that. I'm not familiar with politics in Brazil, besides what we can watch in our local news. So I. I'm not going to
Yeah, it's
comment
fine, man.
further.
It's fine. Yeah.
I'm not going to comment further into that because I don't want to get in
Yeah.
trouble.
Nah, you're good,
But
man.
obviously,
You're good.
obviously, he's making reference to a political figure that looks like a president and has the Brazilian flag right there. And not only that, you went into the scene with him with the guns again. And he does a very strong
turns.
approach towards the camera. Yeah,
Right.
you go a
It
little bit
turns-
there.
Yep. It
Yeah.
starts pointing toward him.
Yeah, and you see the frustration in his face, and talking about, the bankruptcy of the country, devaluating the peso, the how all of these decisions that governments take devalue the normal people's lives, while government figures are enriching themselves out of the suffering of normal folks. And you can see it here in his approach and all of the guns that, he's us, he's representing the frustration that we have with this whole situation. And I believe he's a very strong scene and clip in the whole video. I really like it a lot.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah. It's real. It's a lot of stuff to pay attention to. And
Yeah.
he even kissed the is that the Brazil? Yeah, it is. My
Yes,
bad.
that's the Brazilian flag.
It threw me off
And
with
look
the
at
angle.
look at also the little indigenous
Right.
kid looking
Right.
at him like, dude,
What are you?
what the hell? And
Right.
I'm going to say that, and I think about it now. Look at all of the problems in the Amazon that Brazil has been facing, and again, the Amazon relates to a lot with the indigenous communities of Brazil. So now thinking about it right now, looking at the kid, looking at, this political figure, eating his plate of steak with his glass of wine, with his nice suit in a nice office, kissing the flag as if he's saying, I am doing the best for my country. I love my country. But what he's really loving is the glass of wine and the steak. While indigenous folk are looking at him like, dude, I mean, you're not doing the best things for the interest of the Amazon. And I think that, in part, that is what that image is telling me, at least.
Okay. Gotcha.
Evaluado el tráfico de droga, los carteles, las invasiones, los emigrantes sin
Drug
papeles, cinco
trafficking,
presidentes.
cartels, invasions. It's
That's the coffee cups.
Yeah, and those are you see there the coffees of Starbucks.
Right. Now
Uh,
now what was up with this? Why coffee cups? What is that dealing with?
I just think it's a way of, making a representation of big U.S. companies that benefit and profit from, either cheap labor that sometimes, and we can argue that it's, slavery. It profit from, having their shops in other countries, but really don't give anything back to those communities. I believe that is what it's representing with this critic in this part of the video.
Okay. Gotcha.
En 11 días, disparo a quemarropa por parte de la policía.
Here we
Más
have
de
the
100 años de
the
tortura. La
Amazon
nueva
boxes, and
trova cantando.
I believe that you have did notice about the 5 presidents in 11 days. I think that you
Right.
had done that in your first video about.
Yeah, I noticed it in there.
Yes, and you did cut that one perfectly, and you googled it and you checked your information, and it's exactly that. Wow, imagine
Hold on, give me one
yourself.
second. Give me 1 second. Alright, I'm back, man. I'm sorry I had to cut, but yeah, there was knocking at my door, but you can go ahead.
No,
So
that you hit it right on the nail with on that one, looking the information and thinking about, imagine a country in which, things are so crazy that you get to the presidency and you're like, no, hell no. I'm not dealing with this.
Right.
So I mean, it's those are tough situations and issues that again happen in America, that here in the United States we might not press attention to it. Nonetheless, we do want to keep the name America.
Right. Got you. Okay.
Una dictadura, somos la sangre que sopla la presión atmosférica. Gambino, mi
Again, the
hermano.
protest.
Now this is that bar. Well, this is that lyric where the Gambino, my brother, this is America. When I first heard this, and I didn't say it in the reaction, but the Childish Gambino song, "This
Yes.
is America," I did not know they were trying to. I did not know. Like I just wasn't thinking it at the same time, but I was thinking it. I just didn't say it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So-
and it's not I don't think it's a diss or anything like that.
Yeah, that's not a diss.
It's just, pointing, this is my perspective, this is my point, and this is what I'm trying to explain in this part of my song,
Because it was like he was trying to portray this, and then he's trying to portray this. Like, I feel like it's just like they're not arguing, but they're just stating their perspectives of the point of view.
Yeah.
America.
This really happened, man.
Yeah. So who was this?
I cannot tell you. You can't check it up, but this actually happened. He was a musician, and given the government was
I had to get it off the screen. Hold up, let me get it off the screen.
Yeah, it's a very strong scene, man.
Okay, yeah.
And he's a musician that was threatened by the government to stop playing his music because of his political views.
For real.
Yeah, and the guy just decided, I'm going to keep on doing my thing. This is my art. This is the way that I express myself. And because of his passion and his love for music and his refusal to comply with what the government was asking from him and demanding from him, he got shot.
Dang, and that's that just really shows like they're really trying to hide something. Like if you know too much, bro, they will do everything they can to make
not even you don't even have to know. Just being critical of can get you popped, and that's something that is the thing that here in the United States, bro. I mean, we have the right to burn the U.S. flag. We have the right to name call and insult and make fun of U.S. presidents. Nobody's gonna be knocking on your door, to arrest you because of that, unless you do a legitimate threat, and that's a whole nother thing. But I mean, there's shows, there's SNL mocks politicians all the time. This is something that we can do, and we can do it freely in the United States. Back there, it's not about, you don't even have to know things. Just being critical of, or just providing information for people to develop their own ideas and free their minds, that's enough for the government to make you a target.
Oh, dang, hold up.
So it's so sensible that it gets to that point. And again, I am not an expert of none of these, or of conflict, or of issues of South or Central America. It's just things that I know and things that I am observing on the video.
All right, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, man.
Okay, we're back. Let me
And just to give a little bit of perspective on that, on the image of the guy who was playing the guitar and shot, is Victor Jara Martinez from Chile. And yeah, he was a political activist, a songwriter, and a teacher. Yeah. And he got shot because of his political views, man.
That's sad. It's sad, man. It's sad. And like, I don't know if you've been seeing now what's been going on in the States, but like, if you like, I don't know if you saw, I mean, I'm sure you heard of who the President Trump was, right? And I don't know if you ever watched the Nelk Boys, but what happened is, it's like the Nelk Boys, they're like this big like prankster channel on YouTube, and I've been watching them for like 4 years, something like that. And so they're like real big now, and like they recently dropped a interview on their podcast channel. It was a podcast with Trump, like everything, like they recorded, it was like live and everything. And what happened is Trump told him in that interview, there was like, boom, there was like, this interview probably won't be up for a day. Interview got taken down in like 24 hours for no reason. Like, it was nothing bad about it or anything like that, but took him down. And it's crazy how that is. Like, the media, boy, they just, it's crazy. All right, let me press play again.
Aquí estamos, siempre estamos, no nos fuimos, no nos vamos. Aquí estamos pa' que te recuerdes.
Starbucks coffee.
Si quieres mi machete te
There you
muerde. Aquí estamos, siempre
There's that
estamos.
image with the pyramid,
Right,
within
that's
the
what
city. Like I think it's just demonstrating, the roots and that history that
That everything was built around it, right?
yeah, everything was built around it. That's a it's a great way of explaining it,
Right.
but nonetheless we don't recognize it. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right, right. Yeah, because I mean, they don't have that stuff just out on plain view. They try to, they don't showcase this stuff, right?
Yeah.
They don't showcase this stuff.
No nos fuimos, no nos vamos.
Protest again. That peace within the whole.
Now this is what the drones
Yeah,
coming after.
yeah. Yeah. There you go, and look at what he's using to defend himself.
A machete.
Yeah, he's just
Wow. No, that's a bad, ain't
Oh,
it?
it's like a tube. Yeah, it's like a tube.
Tube.
Yeah, but again, yeah, I think again, it's some, criticizing, a technological way of pursuing it, and trying to stomp on other cultures and in other countries. And it's just, I believe he's just portraying that, and that the use of this technology, we can go back and maybe say that it's again a criticism against the whole U.S. Army, or I don't know, maybe something like that.
Gotcha.
Este te muerde. Si quieres mi machete te muerde. Si quieres mi
Brazilian
machete
flag.
te muerde. Si quieres mi machete te muerde. Te muerde. Te muerde.
Strong images at the end.
Isn't that drum scene is exactly what he did earlier too? I'm guessing that's just nothing too major, is it? Or is it like, you know what I'm saying? The drum scene where he was like sitting down. It was like where they were. I can't find it right now. Like he was just sitting down over here and then doing like the drums, because I don't think that means anything. Like they're not.
No, it's just part of the music. It's just
Okay.
part of it's expressing, that these rhythms come from, cultures prior to ours, and traditions prior to the one that we grew up with. So I just think that it's intertwining the music with the cultures and those traditions. If you see, he's not an artist that he's not most of the time he's not in the music clips. He's more of a visual of what he's trying to portray. He just puts himself in different positions, just for a couple of seconds within the whole video, if you notice.
Right. Okay.
He's trying to be more, trying to portray more of the images. He's trying to show you, show you a little, as I said, as a 4-minute movie, and he comes out whenever he feels that he wants to make a little statement here and there. And I know that scene that you're telling me, that he's in top and he's doing like with his hands like the drums.
Right. Gotcha.
These are all images, little images of
She's
different images of different things that go in that are happening in different parts of America, and on South America, and Central America. He's just saying, and showing us different images from different parts of the country. And right now, if you see that person there lying in the floor with the Colombian flag on top of it, we can have a direct reference that he's referencing police brutality and violence that's happening in Colombia.
Right. I was thinking maybe you could look at it this way. He's he got shot, whatever, but basically you can look at it of like they're trying to cover the deaths up in their country. I mean, in their in their not country.
Well, by having well, if you want to get into it, by having the police there, which obviously is the police, covering the body with the Colombian flag, you can see that this murder is committed directly by the government of Colombia. The Colombian government is greenlighting this, because there's the police. Who controls the police? The government.
Right.
So, and these are things my friend, that I'm just thinking about it as we talk, and you make this observation, and what pops into my mind is exactly that. I mean, look at police; they're
Right.
there, normal,
Right.
nothing is happening. They just cover the body with the flag, so it's a way of maybe him expressing to us like these are murders. There are green lighted by the government. They're okay with it.
Got you. Got you.
And look at this scene with,
Yeah. This
yeah, it's obviously a dead person. He being dragged just like that with all of the officers in the background, just
just
looking at
looking.
them, sitting down normally as if this is
Right.
normal for us.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it just happens on the.
Yeah, and the girl who's being dragged, look at her directly looking into the camera. Obviously she's dead. Oh, I'm sorry. There was an image. It looked like she was looking directly to the camera. No, she's obviously, just there,
Just
lying.
looking. Yeah. Looking off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Now, does this lady in the background with the basket on top of her head, is that
Yeah.
what is that dealing with? Because I mean,
Well,
she's watching as well.
just
Is what I'm
just a
looking at.
bypasser watching. Really. I believe that you can see that that person is looking at it like in a view that she she cannot do anything about it. It's unfortunate, but it's a way I believe that we have to see that in themselves they see this as as normal. This is what happens.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
You see her just looking at it, and if you see the visual from up above, with the bodies, they're spelling America.
Right.
And again, we're not talking about the United States. We are talking about America.
Oh,
Problems. Yes,
as a whole.
he's not spelling there America as in United States. He's spelling America as in hello United States. America is not only the United States.
Brazil,
Look
all
at the
that.
problems that happen in America. All that happened in this video, all these corruption clips, violence clips, protests, brutality, all of that is happening in America. We just need to broaden our views, and,
Right.
and see that, and not only regard America as is the United States. And this is why this what this image is telling us at the end.
Yeah, so yeah, that's the main thing too. Is like when I first checked out this video, I was looking at it as a perspective of just U.S. in itself. I wasn't looking at it as the whole South America. I wasn't looking at it and like none of that. I was just being okay from Florida to what's the upper Cali? No, they go past it. But I was just looking at it like just the states in itself, and
Yes.
looking at it the way that you're looking at it, and that's why I appreciate you coming in. Is that I didn't catch not even half of the stuff that was happening today. Like when I dropped that video yesterday, I scheduled it for it was like 11:15 and went out. I went to go get an oil change in my car for my car, and so as soon as the video goes out, I always look at my studio and I'll be like, okay, is it generating views? Because if it's generating views, like I'm not talking about like crazy views. If it's generating like at least one view, that means that the video went out like it should have. Because sometimes YouTube does this thing where like it'll block your video and you wouldn't even know. So I went in my
Okay.
app and I saw I went in my app and I saw that this thing had like 200 views in like 18 minutes. It was just something insane. And then so I'm getting comments rolling in, and I get a few comments here and there. And then the main comments that I was getting, people like getting like mad with me and stuff like that. It's just like I didn't catch like none of this stuff, and so that's like the whole day I was going like through like because I always have my phone on me and stuff like that, and I was just seeing these comments roll through, and I was like, bruh. Because I was like, bro, I think I gotta reshoot this reaction. Like, obviously, I ain't gonna delete my first one because like that's just a real reaction to my first,
Yeah.
thing, and
Yeah.
I wasn't
Of course.
as widely looking at it as we are here today. And that's why I appreciate you coming on. So like, if any of y'all out there watching, if you guys want to ever like come on to the channel, like he's doing here, Alexandra, right?
Alejandro.
Alejandro. I be forgetting. If any of y'all want to ever come on the channel, just look out or DM me on IG and let me know, cause like on like big like reactions like this where it's so much going on, then yeah, I wouldn't have no issue with y'all coming on the channel, man. So as far
Yeah,
as you, yeah, you can go ahead.
and yeah, man, I think that I agree with a lot of what you said. When I initially saw your first reaction here on my side, I was like, no, he's not talking about that. But
Yeah.
I mean, and there's no ill will or anything like that. I mean, I understand. Obviously, you have a language barrier,
Mhm.
and you did to try to do your best. Watching it
Mhm.
and your initial reaction when you saw, and we could go back to the name of the song in the initial, when you saw that, this is not America, and what you said, okay, he's going to talk about we're not being what we want to be, and it has nothing to do with that. It just has, to do with, the whole concept of America being used exclusively to identify, USA and US citizens, when it's not. It goes way beyond that.
Mhm.
And through the video, he's trying to teach you that. And not only that, he's showing you problems that are happening right now in the whole continent, specifically South and Central America, and this, using the words of the body, spelling America, is trying to use even the wording, with saying, this is problems that are happening around us, and we're not paying attention to them, and
Mhm.
we're just using, the word America to identify a certain culture, and that's it,
Right.
and
Right.
wash out everything else.
Right. Got you. Well,
And it's
yeah.
good, man. It's good
Yeah.
that we talk about it, and it's
Yeah.
good that you try to conceptualize it,
Mhm.
and put it into perspective, which what is one of my the purpose of everything today. And again, I'm not an expert of history or none
Hey,
of
man.
that. I
Yeah.
just wanted to give a little bit of perspective for you to understand, and
Yeah.
for your listeners to
Yeah,
understand.
yeah, you're good, man. And like I say, man, hey, truly, truly appreciate you for coming on the channel. Let me know everything. For all you guys, hey, just big shout out to him. Like, hey, he deserves all the credit in this because he's helping me out. Like, I didn't catch half of the stuff, and yeah, man, like I say, man, I really, really appreciate you for coming on, man.
Thank you.
All right, I'm finna get up out of here,
Cheers.
man. Hey, appreciate you guys for stopping by. If you guys stay to the end, if any of you guys stay to the end, hey, I truly appreciate it. This was just a big understanding reaction on this part. I know the video was like 4 minutes, but hey, hour-long reaction. But for me to understand, it's gonna take some time, man. Man, yeah, I'm finna get out of here, man. But if you guys did enjoy it, make sure you guys hit the like button down below. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button down below as well. On the way to 20,000 subscribers. Anything else you gotta say, Alejandro?
No, man, I just want to thank you for the opportunity,
So,
and for being interested in this topic, and being open to discuss it with me, so you can further understand, and your subscribers can better understand the whole purpose of this video.
right.
And I appreciate that, your willingness to listen, and learn about different cultures, and even trying to take on a video this complex, in a language that is not, your first language. And it's truly, a pleasure for me to help you out.
Yes, sir. Hey, appreciate it, man. Other than that, though, hey, sweet boy, quality Cam. Kevin about this thing. Peace out. Love you guys.